G'day guys and girls, and it's John Michaloudis here from MyExcelOnline.com, but you already knew that. In this video, you're going to learn how to clean up and extract data using the best formulas, and you're going to be surprised at what we're going to uncover. I will show you the must-know Excel analytical tools to further your data analysis and make insightful business decisions. But before we go into this video, I would like to mention the great feedback we received from Oz's video number 1, where he showed you the different ways to clean, transform, and automate data using Power Query. That video alone got over 1,000 unique views in less than 1 day of going live, and over 70 comments from satisfied viewers. And these are some of my favorites. The conversion from QuickBooks report into a flat file was the most useful part for me. I wish I should have known all this before. The next one, I've always wanted to give Power Query a go and didn't know where to start, but your video and working examples have given me the perfect start. I sent you your video to about 50 colleagues, and one of them installed Power Query straight away, as she gets data from Oracle and has cleaned it up all the time. When you showed the trim feature, she was sold. I would like to thank everyone who sent in the comments, and to Oz who worked tirelessly answering every single one of them. You can still send your comments through at any time at the bottom of each video page. If you haven't watched video 1, then you can scroll down this page and click on the image to watch it now. Also, have a look at your inbox as we sent you the links to these free training videos. If you haven't received these, please check your spam or promotions folder. As you may or may not know, I got myself a new office just so I can escape home and record these videos for you. Now, this is it here, as you can see, and I'm going to show you just quickly my office so you can get a feel for it. Okay, so I've got my camera here and I'll turn it around. All right, on the right here, as you can see, I've got this big light down there. So the videos will come out nice. It's very bright. And let's go all the way there. And you can see I've got my whiteboard there. And then I've got here my chairs. You can see my table, so I can sit down and have my lunch. And the video camera there. So yeah, this is the office there. It's pretty cool. Now I need to install a bed so I can have my siestas here. Now I live in Spain, so this is in the north of Spain, so siestas are a must. So yeah, I gotta get a bed. All right, so that's the whiteboard there. As you can see, pick up the kids at 5:25. You know, I gotta put a note for myself because I always forget, and it's not good if I'm late. And also you can see there we've got our new Power Query and data cleansing course and the contents there, and we're working on that now as we speak. And so yeah, this is the office here. Pretty cool office, pretty quiet, and it just allows me to get these new videos for you, new courses, which is what I'm concentrating this year. Now let's go on to introduce you to the next video. All right, let's go on to this video. Now you're going to love this next video, as I'm going to show you the tactics the Excel pros are using and how you can apply the same features to your workbook, saving you hours each day. You can download the Excel workbooks from each tutorial that I show you, so you can practice by using the download link below this video. Make sure to comment on any questions that you may have, and I will reply with a solution straight away. Now let's get on to this training series. The concatenate function joins 2 or more text strings into one string. We have names here, surnames and initials, and we want to put it into a surname, comma, first name, space, and initial name. Now we can do this using the concatenate function. Let's press equals and concatenate, and it gives us the first text string that we choose. So let's choose our surname, comma. Now we want to put in the comma and a space. So let's put in the double quotes, comma, and a space, and then close with double quotes, and then put in the space there. Now we want to put in our first name. Let's select the first name. Now after the first name, we want a space. So let's again put in the double quotes, spacebar, double quotes, and then close it with a comma. Finally, we want to put in the initials. Select the initial, close parentheses, and enter. As we can see there, we have the first name followed by a comma, a space, then the first name, and finished by a space and also an initial. I know it's a little bit of work there. Let's press F2 and we'll see that. You got to be careful with this because it is a bit complicated. You probably won't get it right the first time. I never do, but that's okay. You can just make the adjustments afterwards. It is a bit tricky. So you can use the concatenate function to do that. That's a nice name. All right, another way to do it is to use the ampersand. Now what we're going to do is put in the first name, space, initial, space, surname. So let's put in the first name. Now we want to put in the space. Let's put in the ampersand, double quotes, space, double quotes, and next argument is the initial. After this, we want to put in a space, so put in and, double quotes, space, double quotes, and the final argument is the surname. Let's just select that and press enter. No need to put any parentheses in here. So we see we have Stuart P. Powell. Double click here and you can see we have all the different names there. So there's two ways of doing this. One way is the concatenate function, the other way is the ampersand way. Either way works fine. It's a little bit tricky, but it's a great way to put in your data into a nice text string. Now that you have it like this, you can just select your data and then using your right mouse button, click on the edge, drag it out, drag it back in, and then you can say here, copy here as values. As you can see, the formulas are all gone. The clean function removes all non-printable characters from text. So what it does is it cleans dirty text. As you can see here, the imported value here has got some symbols that have been imported and converted into windings. It happens from time to time when you import data from external sources. You might get this value here and you think, wow, what's happening there? Now, what it is this is actually a windings symbol. You can just highlight there, you can see that there, and the other ones are not. But you can use a formula to clean it up, and this wouldn't be a data cleansing course without the clean formula. Let's have a look at it. Equals clean. Let's select our text and double click down here. As you can see, it's converted the ugly symbols into normal numbers. The proper function capitalizes the first letter in a text string and any other letters in the text string that follow a space. It converts all the other letters to lower cases. Now this is great when you have capital letters for the first and last name. So the proper function is simply looking into the text cell and it recognizes that the first letter of the first name and the surname should be in capital letters and the rest in lower cases. So let's put in our proper function equals proper, and the cell that we're looking into is in here. Close parentheses and press OK. Let's double click in here. And as we can see, it's converted the uppercases all into a proper name as we are used to see. The trim function removes all spaces from text except for the single spaces between words. So the formula breakdown is trim and our text string or cell. So what it means is let's trim this text cell. As you can see here, we have our four names and we have leading and trailing spaces. We can see that from the eye here that Melendez doesn't really start from the left side of the cell, and neither does Clay. As you can see, also, Mr. Boner has a lot of spaces between the first and the surname. Now, this usually happens when you download data from an external data source and it comes in a messy way. And we can clean this up using the trim function. Now, as an example, let's try and sort this. Click in one of these names and go to data and sort A to Z. You can see that it sorted the leading spaces first and then it starts with all the names. So this is an issue. Another way to check whether we have leading or trailing spaces is to click in a cell and press F2. And you can see here, I've highlighted that. You can see that we have a couple of leading spaces there. Let's escape out of that. We'll go down here again. We can just double click if you like. And then once again, you can see the leading spaces there. Let's go to this one here and press F2. We have one there. And let's go to Theodore Delaney, F2. You can see there we have some trailing spaces as well. Now, if we were to do a VLOOKUP or a match function, then Theodore Delaney will not get picked up because he has a trailing space. Now, looking at it from far away, you can't tell that he has a trailing space. So imagine going through all your data and doing the F2 and, that's going to take a long time to check. What we can do is put in the trim function. It'll clear all the leading spaces from the front of the name. It'll clear all the trailing spaces from the end of the name. It'll also get rid of the extra space between the first and the last name. So let's go in there and put in the equals trim function and the text cell. Let's just select it and we can double click to fill down. So you can see that that's all done. Now let's paste all this as value. So select all that. A quick way is to, with your mouse, right click in any of the edges of the selection. So the green border, right click, you can go out and then go back in again and let go of the right mouse button. And it brings up this dialog box here. We can say here, copy here as values only. All right, so let's copy the values and got rid of the formulas. Now let's press F2 in there and we can see that's fine there. There's no trailing spaces. Let's have a look in there. No leading spaces. That's fine. We can do the same here for every one of them. So that's cleared everything up. And also for Mona Bona, we can press F2. You can see it has one space there and it got rid of the extra spaces in the middle. Now we can go and sort this from A to Z. And we have that in correct order. So the trim function is a fantastic function for you to clean data within an instant. The text function converts a numeric value to text and lets you specify the display formatting by using special format strings. The formula breakdown is text, the value, and then the second argument is the format text that you want to apply. So what it means is value you want to format and format you want to apply to the value. Now, in our table here, we have different values all the way down here. We have numbers to dates and also dates and time formats. And the format that you should apply is located over here. I've got it all there. Okay, now the format has to be in between double quotation marks. So what I've got here is, if you can see, press the F2. Now I've got the plus sign. Don't worry about that. I'm in Europe, so I'm using a European keyboard. So whenever I usually start a formula, I start it with a plus. If you start a formula with a plus, you put in the equals and the plus. So ignore that. Now, so what I've got here is text. And the first argument is C6, which is getting the value. The second argument is I've actually put the format in here. So if you put in the hashtag and then followed by question marks, divide question marks, it will give you the fraction. Let's go down here. We have the text, which is 10,000. And then the format text, we put in quotation marks, a hashtag, and also a comma. Now, 1 comma means it gets rid of the 3 trailing zeros, as you can see there. So it gives us the 10. Another example where this is good is we can put in there the 2 commas as I've done here. That gets rid of 6 zeros. Now what I've done here is I put in the ampersand and then put in double quotations, a space, and then mil. So it shows us 100 mil. Let's go into the dates down here. Now, when you have a date and you put in this text function, you put in 2 M's, it gives you the month number. Go down here, if you put in 3 M's, it gives you the month name abbreviated into the first 3 letters. Let's go further down, and if you put in YY, it gives you the last 2 digits of the year. If you put in YYY, it gives you all the digits of the year. You put in DD, it gives you the actual date number. If you put in DDD, it gives you SUN, which is abbreviated for Sunday. If you put in DDD and one more, it will give you everything there. Now, I put in a capital D. It doesn't really matter if it's lowercase or uppercase. Let's go down here and continue. Now, I'll put in there H:\M and then AM, PM. So what that gives us is it just extracts out the time and an AM or PM. Go further down here. I'll put it in double quotes, date, / month, / YY. What that does is it extracts only the date from this format here. Let's go further down. In our last example, what I've done is I've put in the month first, then the dates, then the years. Now this is typical for the American calendar. So what it does is it brings in the month in the front, then the date, then the year. So there's a lot of different ways where you can use this awesome text function. I've got several here which you can apply straight away. Go for it, use it. A great way to clean up and mash up your data and also show it in the way that you want to. The left function returns the first character or characters in a text string based on the number of characters you specify. The formula breakdown is left text, which is the cell you're looking into, and the number of characters, and that is optional. What it means is we're looking in a cell, and from that cell we are extracting the number of characters that we want from the left side of the text. Let's do an example. We have our part numbers here, and we can see they're all pretty consistent. And let's pull a length function, which is the length function, and just to check the number of characters in our part numbers equals len. Let's select our text and press OK. That's 10. And we'll have a look at that. That's 10 characters. So what we want to do is extract the first 8 numbers. So anything before the dash. So you take away 2, we're left with 8 characters. Now let's put in our left function equals left. The text is our cell here. Press the comma. The number of characters, we said we want to extract the first 8 characters from our text string. Press 8, close parentheses, and we have our number. Double click in the bottom right hand corner to fill down. And as you can see, we have taken out all the part numbers right before the dash. The right function returns the last character or characters in a text string based on the number of characters you specify. So the formula breakdown is right. The first argument is text, so the text string or cell that you're looking in. And the second argument is the number of characters. Now that's optional. Now what that means is you're looking in a text cell and you're extracting the number of characters to the right hand side of that text cell. So as an example, we have our addresses here, as you can see, and we have an address with a 5-digit zip code. It's all in one cell, and we'll go all the way down here, and we can see that. Now we want to extract the last 5 digits from this address, just so we can get out the zip code. Now to do this, we put in our formula equals right. Our text string is in here. The second argument is the number of characters that we want to take out from the right hand side of this text string. Now we want to take out the first 5 characters. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put in the number 5. Close the formula and we get the number 31437. Now, if we double click on the right here to fill down, as you can see, it's taken out the zip code from within the address. The substitute function substitutes new text for old text in a text string. So the formula breakdown is substitute text, old text, the new text, and also the instance number that it occurs in. So what it means is substitute this cell by this old text character to this new text character in the instance that it occurs. If this text character occurs more than once, then you got to choose whether it's the first, the second, or the third occurrence within the text string that you want to replace. Let's have a look at this by going into this example here. We have different part numbers here. So we have hyphens between the 2 digits in the middle. And we want to replace the second hyphen in here with a hashtag. The new part number will be equals substitute. The text is in here. The old text is a hyphen. So let's put the double quotes to capture that. The new text is going to be a hashtag. So double quotes, hashtag, double quotes. The instance number, the first hyphen is the first instance number. The second hyphen is the second instance number. So let's put in number 2 because we wanted to replace that. Close parentheses. So you can see there, let's double click all the way down here, that our formula has substituted the second hyphen with a hashtag. Now you can replace it with any numbers there, or you can replace it with any words, whatever you like. In this example, I've just used the hashtag. The replace function replaces part of a text string based on the number of characters you specify with a different text string. The formula breakdown is replace old text, start number, the number of characters, and the new text you'll not input. So what it means is starting this cell, starting from this number all the way up to this number, and then replace with this new text. We have part numbers all the way down here. And you can see there are 3 digits, then a hyphen, then 2 digits, then a hyphen, then 2 more digits. Now we want to get rid of the first digit here and replace it with nothing. We can do a find and replace, but that means if we replace the hyphen with nothing, it'll get rid of both the hyphens. But we just want to replace the first hyphen and get rid of it. Now let's put in our formula here, equals replace the old text, which is the text that we have here. Start number, we want to start in position number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the hyphen's at. Start in number 4. The number of characters is 1. So that captures the hyphen. The new text, we're going to enter in there what we want that hyphen to replace it with. It can be anything. It can be a number, it can be a text string, but we want to get rid of it. So let's put in the double quotes, That means it's going to get rid of it. Close the parentheses and press enter. As you can see there, let's double click to fill all the way down. It's got rid of the first hyphen and kept the second one. The mid function returns a specific number of characters from a text string, starting at the position you specify and based on the number of characters you specify. Now that's a little bit complex, but let's explain the formula breakdown. Mid, the first argument is the text, so the text cell that you're looking into. The start num means the start number, so you can put any number to start off with. And the number of characters means the number of characters to extract from within the text string. So what it means is search in this text cell starting from this position and extract these number of characters. Let's do an example just so I can show you how this works. Now we have addresses here with the state name, also the state name abbreviated, and the city. And we want the abbreviated state name extracted. So for Alabama, AL, for Alaska, AK. Now we need to do this in 2 steps. Now let's put in a helper column in here. So we need to find the parentheses, the open parentheses within the address. So let's put in the find function here. And what do we want to find? We want to find the open parentheses. So in double quotes, put in the open parentheses and then close with the double quotes and a comma. We want to find it in this text here. And start number, let's leave that out and just close that. And we can just double click here. So the 9th position here, we have the parentheses opening up, and in Alaska, we have the 8th, and so on and so on. So in here, let's put in the mid function equals mid. Text is, we're looking in here. Start number, well, let's start from the helper column here. So the start number is the start of the parentheses. Now we want to add 1 here because we want to take the first letter from the abbreviated state. So it'll be D7 plus 1. And the number of characters, 2, because the abbreviated state only has 2 characters. Let's close the parentheses. And we can see if we double click in here, we have all the state abbreviated names taken out. Now we could have done this in 1 step, but we did it in 2 steps just to show you how this is working. But if you want to do it in 1 step, we can just grab the find function, copy, and go in here. And instead of saying, let's find D7, which is the helper column, let's highlight that, delete it, Control V, and put in our helper column in there. And we can just double click again and we get the same result. When we use text functions to extract numbers from a text cell, it returns it in a text format. And we can see that. If we click in here and double click, we've done a simple mid formula to extract the 5th number and 2 characters. So extract the 2 middle numbers. And you can see that here all the way down. Now, if we evaluate this formula by going in here and pressing F9, you see the 2 double quotes, it means that it's text. So if we want to sum this amount or do some analysis, we cannot. We've got to convert that to a number. Another way to find whether this is a text or a number is to use the isText formula. So in here, let's put in isText and reference this cell here. True means that it is text, so we can confirm that as well. Let's get rid of that. Now, to convert a text to number, there are 4 different ways. We can add a 0, we can put in the double dash before the function. We can multiply by 1 and we can divide it by 1. Let's copy this in here into each of these in here. All right, F2, let's add a 0. Before we do that, let's put a formula here, is text. And you can see when I make the changes, it will change from true to false. Is text true? Okay, let's copy this in here. Now, let's put in a 0, add 0. Let's press F2, and before the mid formula, let's put in the double hyphens. Now, in here, let's multiply it by 1. And in here, let's divide it by 1. So there you go, 4 different ways to convert text numbers into Excel numbers. Find and replace is one of the best Excel features when dealing with data cleansing. It's a must-have for any analyst, and I use it every day. Now, to bring up the find and replace, the shortcut is Control H, and you got here find, and you got here find and replace with. Another way is to go to the Home tab, find and select. You got find and replace that way. So let's select here. What I want to do is select the region, and I want to replace south with north. So Control H, find what, type in south, replace with north, and replace all. And 4 changes were made. Now imagine having heaps of data. Within seconds, you can make those changes. Now, let's go over here and let's go to the order date. Let's select that. And let's say 2015 change to 2016. Put in 2015 and replace with 2016, replace all. Do the same for 2014. 2014 with 2015 and replace all. You see that in a matter of seconds, it replaces it. So find and replace is a great way to quickly change your data within Excel. You can quickly format your cells using the Format Cells special number format. A lot of people don't know this, but it actually does exist. Now we have a zip code here, and the cell entry is this number there. And what we can do is just press Control 1 to bring up the Format Cells dialog box. Then go to Special, and we have the option here, zip code or zip code +4. We can see how it's going to look. Let's choose that and press OK. We also have a phone number here. Once again, click in there, press Control 1, Special. There's a phone number section there. You can see the prefix and also the hyphen there, and press OK. Look at that straight away. Imagine having thousands of rows of data. You can highlight everything, and within a couple of clicks, you have that formatted. And finally, the social security number, very important for everyone. Control 1, special social security number. Look at that. Oh, yes. I love this. Sometimes you get data and you have some blank cells, and that's not a good sign. If you want to do analysis and use pivot tables, then that's not going to help you in your analysis, because you're going to get a lot of counts rather than a sum. Now, a great way to check your data and see whether it has blank cells is just to highlight everything. So from here, click anywhere within your data, press Control asterisk, and that will highlight everything. And then Control G to bring up the Go to Special, and choose blanks. Go to blanks. And you see there, it highlights all the blanks. That's great. Now, a good tip is to go to the font and put in there a color, a red. You can see it's highlighted in red. So you can go one by one and start filling in the blanks, or if not, you can just delete the whole row. So it just highlights where the blanks are, and you can spend time and fill in the gaps. You can also, from in here, you can sort by color. So you can sort by the red color, and you can do the same thing in each row, and it drills in to the blank cells, and you can make decisions whether to keep this and actually spend some time in filling in the gaps. When you get data downloaded from an ERP system, it's good just to go over the data just to see whether there's any duplicate values there. And it's, if you got lots of rows of data, you can just quickly skim through it and see whether there are any duplicates. We can see here that we do have duplicates. Fake Brothers, West in December for 90,967, and there's a few there. Now this is only 18 rows of data, but imagine having 100,000 rows of data. You don't want to spend your time going through everything. You've had a quick look and you know there are duplicates. There's a quick way of removing duplicates in an Excel table. So this is an Excel table because when we click in it, the Table Tools tab comes up. When we're out of it, it doesn't. So we know it's an Excel table. And under the Design tab, it's got the Remove Duplicates option there. Now let's unselect all, and we can select where the duplicates are. Now we know that in the customer that there are duplicates there called Fake Brothers. Now in the order date, we may have duplicates and it could relate to another customer. So let's not do that. The same for the region. Now the best way is to look at the unique identifier, and it'll be something like a unique identifier or a customer. So let's check the customer and press OK. Now when we press this, it's going to take away the duplicates and just keep one. Press OK. You see there 5 duplicate values were found and removed. 8 unique values remain. We have a full name here in our list of data, and we can use text to column to split the names into first name and last name. So what we need to do is highlight our names of data and go to Data, Text to Columns, and in here we choose Delimited, go to Next, and then choose Tab and Space. So what it does is, you can see here in the preview that what it's going to do is it's going to split the names into 2 columns, and we can go to Next, and it says here where do we want to put our data. In B6 we can drop that in, and then in C6 the surnames will get dropped in there, and press Finish. As you can see there, it split the names into 2 separate columns, as easy as 1, 2, 3. Sometimes we get data and we have blank cells in a column, and we want to fill whatever is directly above. We can easily do this using the Go to Special Blanks and a formula. Let's highlight the column in dispute here. Press Ctrl G, Special Blanks, OK. So what it does is it highlights all the blanks there. Now what we're going to do is press the equal sign, go up 1, and the trick here is instead of pressing enter, which is only going to fill cell E5, we're going to press Control Enter, and what that will do is it will fill the formula into every blank cell. So let's press Control and Enter, and you see what I mean. And here we have press F2, and down here let's press F2 again, and you can see that it's filled in the cell directly above, and we have no blank cells. Well, I hope that you learned something new from all these fabulous tips that I just showed you. If you have dirty data and want to extract that the way that you like and don't know how to using the formulas or Excel's analytical tools, then please comment below and I will get back to you with an answer straight away. Make sure to be as descriptive as possible, and if you like, you can attach a sample workbook via link or image with the comments within the comments area. In a couple of days' time, you will receive the 3rd and final video in this free training series. In that video, Oz is going to return with his funky hat and sexy Barry White voice to show you how to consolidate multiple workbooks and worksheets using Power Query. This tip alone is the most asked that I get from within my 45,000 plus blog subscribers each month, and one that will allow you to automate your reports and come up with insightful business analysis, which will give you superhero powers. Now watch out for my email to you in the next couple of days, which will tell you when this video is available for you to view. Until then, keep excelling.